Divine greetings and gratitude. Welcome to the Saiyonan Archives. If you're new here, my name is Nuna. I am the seer, the poet, the witch, the writer, the wise woman of the archives. Welcome to your new spiritual safe haven. And if you're returning, hey family, welcome back to our sacred space. I'm always honored, excited, and elated to be in your presence. The candle that I just lit is called the Shadow Divine Feminine candle. It is to honor the divine feminine within us, specifically our shadow divine feminine. I like to call it the shadow divine feminine. However, you may know it as the dark divine feminine, which I don't really like saying that. However, um, just for the sake of, or lack of better terms, I would just say shadow divine feminine. So whenever you hear me say that, it's always about the dark divine feminine. This reading is going to be centered, I'm guessing, towards our dark divine feminine or shadow divine feminine, because these are the messages that simply came through. Also, the reason why you see the cards already laid out on the desk, or not the desk, but the altar or the coffee table in my living room, is because I actually pulled these cards after waking up and going right into meditation. So the words that I ended up hearing when I first woke up out of my meditation I remember it was healing, compassion, and speak or acknowledge the pain. That's what it was about. And the feeling that I got was the fact that someone is going through some kind of healing process, or someone is going through something in their life that requires them to be more vulnerable and honest about where they've been hurt, what their needs are, what their desires are, but also where they feel that perhaps maybe where they feel betrayed, or where they feel like they need a little bit of extra help getting through things maybe in their past. And these were different things that came through this rising when I was in meditation. And it's interesting because I feel like what I'm hearing is that, like, acting out of character, it's almost kind of like when someone is like hurt for so long. And I can definitely speak to this because I went through this myself. It's where you just kind of go through so much and you just reach a point where you just get tired, and you get tired. And so you kind of snap almost, and like another version of you just kind of awakens, or you kind of snap into this like version of yourself for a moment, and you kind of act out of character because you just simply get tired of being pushed. You get tired of whatever it is you're going through. And I feel like this is your divine feminine saying, like, I do not want to keep experiencing this because I feel like I'm too good of a soul to be going through this. I feel like I'm too loving, I'm too kind, I'm too whatever it may be to be going through this with other people, especially when I show up and care. And the universe is saying that, I mean, truthfully, respectfully, out of love, it's not about whether or not you're like a good or bad person. It's just the fact that these are different things that you're going through dealing with people. And it's not that the people are bad, it's just that everybody is kind of learning certain things. And depending on what you set your intention for, someone else may come into your life and they may have set intention for the same thing. But see, you have done so much of the work maybe on your own, and the other person may not be as aware as you are. And so you yourself raise awareness through your triggers and through what you want to accept and through how you feel and things like that. And to them, it's like a wake up call. It's Spirit is saying is that they're not trying to intentionally hurt you. What Spirit is saying is that they really do, whoever this is, whoever they are, Spirit is saying that they're not acting out of malevolence, but they're just simply acting out of the not knowing. And also, I do feel like Spirit is wanting you to know that you do not have to settle for receiving anything or make excuses for anyone, because at the end of the day, people have what we believe to be free will. People have the freedom to make the choices that best suit them, because that's ultimately what they're going to do anyway. But Spirit is saying is that you do not have to accept any of that if you know that it goes against like what your highest good is. The Four of Cups in reverse is a refusal. It's like, listen, like, I do not want to refuse this, or no, I don't want to accept this, and so I'm going to refuse it because I feel like it's not good for me. However, Spirit is also saying however, like the word is literally however. The however is Spirit is asking you, what is it that you were not willing to accept? And what do you think about you that the other is not willing to accept? Because it's not just you not willing to accept this A, B, C, D, and E. What if there are things about you that the other does not want to accept? So then it becomes kind of like this this energy where it's like, okay, we're both seeing each other, we're all seeing each other, and this is an opportunity for all of us to do better. And that's where the judgment card comes in. We have to know that healing is not off limits, and spirit is asking for you right now in your life to take your time, to slow down, and to really practice presence right now. And even if when you're in the presence of someone else, even when you're in that presence, if it's uncomfortable, it's good that it's uncomfortable, because these are the parts of you that more than likely you have not dealt with yet. And with the Nine of Swords coming up in reverse, Spirit is saying is that no matter how uncomfortable things get, this is a moment for you to overcome what you are going through now. It's a moment where you can release these things, because these are the very things that are tainting your spirit, that are tainting your aura. They are tainting your energetic field. And spirit is saying is that if they're coming up, good, let them come up, because these are the things that you are becoming free from. Honestly speaking, you're becoming free from those things. It's interesting because you have the Nine of Swords here that in reverse underneath the Full card. I feel like whatever situation you're going through with the Judgment card here, there's something that you're calling, that spirit has called into question, and it's caused you to really be in surrender mode, fully naked in the presence of the divine. I'm going to say this, okay? You could be the one that someone sits in front of, and when they sit in front of you, it's like they have the front row seat to God. And that is not an easy thing to fathom, because imagine you being in the presence of God. Like, imagine this grand being, and this being of all, whatever it is, right? Like this source. Imagine being in the presence of source. You would be struck. That's how they feel about you. It's like being in the presence of God. Like, you just, like, I did not know that you were capable of this. I did not know that I was capable of this. But every time I'm around you, it's like I feel God. Like, I can't explain it. So I don't know why I'm hearing like the word worship. It's not like they're worshiping you or you're worshiping them, but you, in a way, make them feel like worship feels easy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it almost kind of feels like worship doesn't seem like a far out idea anymore. Worship seems very realistic when they're in your presence. And those of you who know what I mean, know what I mean. It's not the fact that you're trying to have supreme, or that they're your subordinate, or that they're your submissive and things like that. But what it is to say is that when they're around you, they understand what it's like to be on holy ground. And even though they may not remember, or not even remember, but they may not know that they stepped into a holy temple, when they're around you, now they know, because of the type of presence you have. And not everyone knows how to hold that kind of space for people. And it's not because they don't love you or like you, it's just simply because they just don't know. They weren't raised, or some people just don't know, and you know, and your presence alone reminds them of who they are, but also of who you are. And like, that's the message coming through. Also, I do feel like there is massive healing that is happening right now, especially with the Three of Swords in reverse, and with the Justice card, right? It's almost like I feel like there's something that is being not even just evened out, but there's something that is being taken off the scale. It's like something was put on there and it's being taken off, and it's saying this is what's not fitting. The pain that you carry cannot go with you, because it's weighing you down. And I see a major breakthrough in terms of the emotional body, the mental body. I see so much clarity coming, so much clarity, so much love, so much life that's coming after this. And the Temperance card here is showing up as a being that wants to be present with you. There's someone or something that wants to be present with you to help you, Divine Feminine. And they're asking you not to judge yourself, but know that you yourself can have love. You yourself can have wealth. You yourself can have vulnerability without the need to explain yourself or fight or push it away. And your spirit guides are calling into question, why do you feel like you want to be alone? Why do you feel like you'd rather be alone? Is it the burden of dealing with other people? Is it the burden of being misunderstood? Is it the fact that you feel more at peace when you're alone? Or is it that you're avoiding something? What is it that you could be avoiding right now, Divine Feminine? Or what do you feel that you don't want to say? You speaking your truth and acknowledging where you were hurt does not make you weak. What Spirit is saying is that with the Strength card here is that it actually makes you a lot stronger than what you think. And the reason is because it really does take a strong soul to say, I was hurt, but I will not allow it again. I feel like with the Four of Cups and with the Strength card here, it's like, I know that I was hurt. I know that there are some things that I accepted in the past, but I will no longer accept those things. I'm brave enough. I'm woman enough. I'm man enough. I'm human enough. I'm high vibrational being enough to admit that I could have done better. And I'm okay with that. I feel like that's what your cards are telling you. The fact that you also do have here the Ace of Wands. So you underneath here, okay, so these are all the cards because I just kind of went in. So basically we have the Eight of Wands reverse, you have the Judgment card, you have the Four of Cups reverse, you have the Fool card, and the Three of Swords reverse. You have Temperance, you have the Star, you have the Ace of Wands, you have the Nine of Swords reverse, you have the Justice card, and then the last card you have was the Strength card. So I just heard renewal. This really does feel like a renewal a renewal aspect of your life right now, Divine Feminine. And I feel like Divine Feminine, you're being called to know that what you need to feel safe is valid and you don't have to keep it to yourself. Yes, you can provide these things to yourself, and it's also okay that you receive it from other people. It is 100% okay. Divine Feminine, you are being freed from what is hurting you, harming you, making you feel, uneasy, the anxiety. I just heard the crash out. Like someone just had a crash out recently, and they just like crashed out because life is just so hard to them, or for them. And I feel it's like they just had to crash out, like, yo, like I don't know what is going on right now, but I'm tired, I'm over it, I don't want to hold this anymore. And it's because Spirit is saying that you don't need to be contained. You were never made to be contained. You're meant to be free. You are meant to be free. You are truly being asked to work with your Divine Feminine through ritual. I myself do work with Divine Feminine through ritual. That's, for me, that looks like bathing twice a day. That looks like burning dragon's blood sage every time I bathe. That looks like meditation. That looks like crying. That looks like working with candles that I have. There's a fixed candle here. The herbs are there underneath the wax, if you can see that. That means working with candles. That means working with oils. That means anointing myself, anointing my things, working with these types of tools so that I can bring awareness, not only awareness, but magic in my life to help me heal these aspects. Because yes, I am also someone that is healing through some things, working with their Divine Feminine as well. And I can tell you firsthand that working with this oil, and this is not me just trying to force you to buy anything or anything like that. No, but what this is to say is that I work this through ritual, and that is what I am here for. And this is also something else that's coming through before we get to your oracle cards, because I pulled these today and I have not looked at them today. They've been kind of sitting on this desk. What I was going to say was that is what I'm here for. I am here as a poet. I am here as a writer. I am here as a performer. I will be performing things, when the time comes and whatnot, and I'll post that. But that is not my only role here on earth. My role is to also offer ceremony. My role is to role, whatever you want to call it, for lack of better terms. My mission here on the planet is to help you remember who you are, to help you pace the path of remembrance, and I do so through ritual. That is what I'm here for, right? The Etherium is not just trinkets and just separate from my work. No, the Etherium is my work. It's a part of that, and that's where some things are born. That's where some writing pieces are born, right? Like that's where I draw inspiration at times, when I'm in prayer, when I'm in meditation, and I'm doing the tarot readings for you, and I'm doing these readings and we're connecting one-on-one. That's how some of these poems are born, right? Like some of these poems that I do are born because I'm seeing you, I'm seeing us, my wisdom that I've, was born with, I implement into the poems that I write and things like that. And everything is just a beautiful part of each other. So why am I saying all this? Because your life is going to show you just how intricate things are once you start again to honor your Divine Feminine. And if it hadn't been for me honoring my Divine Feminine and working with it, I would be honest with you and say that I would not be able to even like bring all these elements together. Right. And I know this firsthand because when I was over at Magic of Eden, I felt like I had to be a certain way because I had to be another astrologer. I had to be this, I had to be that. And I'm being real with you. And I got tired of that. And I said, no, I need to start over. I need to start in a way and do things in a way that I know that the divine is leading me in. And if it hadn't been for me creating this space, I don't feel like I would be able to connect with you in the way that I am right now. And I can honestly really say that because so much of my life I hid who I was. I suppressed my divine feminine. I felt like I had to be a certain way. I, you know, beauty was off limits to me in some ways. Like I felt like, okay, the only way I can wear makeup, or if I wear makeup, it's because I have to show up on camera. Like I couldn't do it just for myself. Like there were so many things that was going on at that time. And I can honestly say, I can transparently say with my heart that it was so hard because of me just not allowing myself. And I'm here to let you know that you don't have to hold yourself back for nothing or nobody. I know what it's like to feel like life is just so hard to the point where you yourself, you don't trust yourself. And that's another thing that Spirit is saying. Spirit is asking for you to trust, because if you trust and you allow yourself to just be open, you will be surprised at how much healing you will receive if you just allowed yourself to trust. I don't mean to get like very emotional, but because the connection is so real, it's raw, and I cannot come on here and tell you superficial shit. I just cannot do it. Spirit is asking for you to be open, honest, and acknowledge where you were hurt. Tribe, I have been there. I have been there. My husband passed away like when I was 3 months postpartum. I'm not here to give you a sob story. I'm letting you know that truthfully, I know what pain feels like. Please understand that you don't have to allow yourself to be limited by pain, and you don't have to accept it. You do not have to accept that life. You can forgive, you can have compassion, and you can also let yourself be free. I'm going to go ahead and turn over your cards here. Exactly like I said, I did not, and no way, shape, or form. I gotta wipe the tears off. I was like, I had tears and stuff like that. That's why you see that right there. But anyway, you have the Robin here, new beginnings, cheer, and cycles. Exactly. And then you have Chickadee, I think it's called, industry, leadership, and review. Exactly. That's funny because you have this judgment card here. And then you also have deep freeze, exactly, making a choice, exactly. And then you have appreciation and woman holding a coin. This definitely is for sure, about divine feminine healing. And it is for sure about you allowing yourself to pause. Exactly. Take a moment to pause. Temperance card and deep freeze. I have a poem that I want to read to you, and I think I might post it. And I do feel like deep freeze reminds me of that. It's called Prelude to Spring. And in that poem, essentially, I'm letting you know that pain is not there to keep you alienated from healing, but it's a prelude to spring. And when these thoughts start coming up from your past and things just start to kind of replay, it's not to get you to feel like you are meant for suffering, but it's a prelude to spring, because sometimes you have to pause. The beauty, you may not be able to see it, but it is there underneath the cold. And that's what that poem is about. And I kind of just want to read it to you now, but I don't have my computer. I need my phone actually. I'm gonna grab my phone for a second, or I'm gonna have my partner grab my phone, because I want to read you this poem. I didn't plan on doing this, but this was not planned. Like, you can't make things like this up at all. And it's definitely not finished at all yet. Like, nowhere near finished. I'm wondering if it's on here. I'm writing another book. That's the reason why you see that. It's called Prelude to Spring. Um, Thank you so much for your patience. I love you so much. I don't know if I'm gonna leave it in this chapter to roots, but okay, here we go. And remember, this is this is it. Let me see if I can hang on. I'm gonna fix the camera real quick, just so that we can get a better. There we go. Okay, this is called Prelude to Spring. When winter comes to freeze you still, tell yourself it is a prelude to spring. That all things that have died and fallen have a calling to make way for new things. Memories may snuggle to find warmth in your mind. Moments of pain may play in ominous tunes. Let your sobs be the voice that sadly croons. For this stabbing cold winter is but a moment in time, where the old have shed every feather, every wing. When the harsh stormed season has reached its prime, and haunting thoughts have begun to sing, be assured that this is a time to pause and reflect, for these prints will lead to spring. The cold can kill that week of warmth, or preserve that which waits to be. You are not the sin of your memories, but a seed sure to bloom for a future's cause. Your light will return with a brilliant beam. Honor the wisdom in the quiet of decay, where fallen leaves don't extend their stay. Stillness is fullness, it is wise and deep, a solemn pause where the soul can weep. Even Earth Mother grieves and grows, her frozen ground still dream of rose. Let your chest rest like softened snow, and melt slowly in the morning's glow, for healing may bring the blizzard home. If your sorrows and regrets seem to cling, remember that pain is a prelude to spring. I want you to take the time to appreciate the fact that pauses are necessary. I want you to take your time and know that it's okay for you to appreciate love the moments that you are in, because each moment is sacred. Your pauses are sacred. Take time to love yourself. Take time to sit and just allow yourself to just be, and know that just because things seem frozen does not mean that life will not come after. Because this is the worst that it will get before it gets better. This is the worst that you will feel before it gets better. Spirit is asking you to trust that. It's hard believing that, especially when you just keep feeling and you keep seeing things and it's hard. It's not easy. It's not easy. But the strength card, there is a resilience to you that is unmatched. And I want you to remember that. And you don't have to feed into the idea that you just have to continuously be tortured and emotionally R-word, if you catch my drift. And you don't have to accept that. But Spirit is saying is that there is a grace to you, that if you just allow that grace to come out, if you allowed yourself to show that you will figure out very quickly that you are not weak. How can you be? You made it this far. You are not weak. And even if this was your last, you still would not be weak. I want you to welcome in those new beginnings. This is the prelude to spring. You have a choice. You can choose either way. But no matter what you choose, I ask and I pray that you choose what is the best for you, that you choose the most high vibrational route. Please do not lose yourself in the pain. Please do not lose yourself in the pain. To whoever needs to hear this, I set the intention that no matter where you are, no matter what time it is, no matter the day, I set the intention that you receive this exactly when you do need it. I set the intention that you allow yourself to heal from whatever it is that you may be going through. I set the intention that you allow yourself to just feel, to breathe, to be. You guys, that's all I have for right now. All I have, I know that this is very unorthodox because people don't just come on the internet to just cry. Like, it's not like me to do that. I try not to, but in this instance, I could not help it. All right. Industry leadership review. Mark my words, you are somebody. And when you start to embody, to be the embodied presence of wisdom, you will see just how much your life changes. I love you, tribe. I'll catch you in my next video.